Well, happy Thursday, everybody. My name is Jim Codney. I'm National Sales Director here at Western Marketing. Thank you very much for joining us today. We've got an exciting, pretty new product that we want to really, take some time and go over with you. I think it's one of, if not the best, single premium life products in the market today. With that said, I know sometimes if you haven't been on go to webinar in a while or before, it takes a minute. So I'm going to give about 20-30 seconds just for those last couple agents to hop in. Don't worry, I'm not going to waste a lot of your time waiting for lollygaggers. And then we will kick off and get started. So just give me about 30 seconds and we'll get going. Thank you. All right, everybody. Good morning. Again, for those of you who just joined, my name is Jim Codney. I'm National Sales Director here at Western Marketing. Before I introduce our guests and talk about why we're here and why it's important to talk about this product, just really quick, a couple housekeeping rules. First of all, thank you very much for joining, especially those of you in the Medicare space in the middle of AEP. I know you're busy. I promise we aren't going to waste a lot of your time. We're going to rock and roll through this, but spend time where it needs to be spent and talk about this good product. We know that when you're on a webinar, you aren't out making sales, paying your bills, putting food on the table for your families. So we will not waste any time at all. Secondly, because of that, we are here for you. If you have questions, need to talk about anything with us, please type a question in the question box. If it is relevant to the topic or to the whole group, we will gladly have that question answered on our webinar at the end today. If it's an individual question, like sometimes people ask us about an individual case, we will one-off after the webinar is over, reach out to you and make sure your questions are answered. So with that, it is my pleasure to introduce somebody who's not only one of our most amazing carrier partners, but has become a really good friend of mine. He's our external wholesaler with EquiTrust, Regional Vice President Leon Fitch, and on the webinar also is Andrew Gabriel, who is our internal. Now, really quick, just for those of you who don't know about my background, I come from the carrier space, and I have pretty high standards for carrier reps because I've done the job, and both Leon and Andrew are very responsive. Now, obviously, we'd prefer you, if you have anything to come through us at Western Marketing, let us earn our override. But if we need help, we always go to Andrew or Leon, and again, they're very responsive and they're great partners. And today we are going to talk about their single premium life product that they launched a couple months ago. We've been getting some traction, but I thought, man, it's such a good product that I wanted to do one more webinar before we hit the holidays and the year ended. So either you can close the year strong if you have opportunities, or come mid-January when you're through the haze of the holidays, looking for something, to market to maybe your Medicare clients, for example. It's a great product. So with that, I'm going to be quiet. Leon, the floor is yours.
Hey.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it, and as always, the kind words are appreciated, and I the cool thing is I know they're sincere and they go both ways. Western's a great partner. Jim is somebody that's always willing to have a discussion if we've got a product I think is a good fit for their group. And the part that he had mentioned about responsiveness, and I know I speak for Andrew in this. sense that, but we take a lot of pride in that, right? So we want to be here and be a true partnership is that it's two ways, and we're not gonna build that trust if we're not there when you guys need us. So we do take a lot of pride in that. Not just Andrew and I, but our EquiTrust as a whole. Some of the investment we've made, with our back office, new business staff, and servicing folks, and our sales support team. I think we hire a new sales support person, once a week, it seems like, not as a replacement, but as an addition. So really investing in that service side of the business is important for us at EquiTrust, and it was important for me when I came here. So, so that's my little, commercial from a company perspective. For today's topic, I've got something that is really exciting. I'm a firm believer, guys, that sales happen when we offer solutions, right? When we solve a problem for a client. Quite frankly, sometimes a problem that they don't know that they have, because they don't understand the current economic space, or what a product can do for them. I think the WealthMax Bonus Life product does that in several ways. I'm going to touch on a few different areas where I think this is a problem solver for our clients. But let's kind of talk about, hey, what is the problem, right? Problem is probably more of a negative connotation. What's the opportunity, right? And I've seen this number in various forms. I've seen 68 trillion, 78 trillion, 84 trillion is our number, depending on the source you use. We know what I know. It's a huge opportunity, right? We've got a bunch of money being passed down from older Americans to their heirs. And, first and foremost, you look at the WealthMax bonus product, our single premium life product. It's a great tool, for clients to utilize to transfer wealth to their beneficiaries. That is, when you've got this size of a market or an opportunity, boy, folks are looking for help. They're looking for efficient options and products to utilize that. If you've been around long enough, you've probably heard people almost act as if getting an inheritance or is almost a stressful thing, right? I love those problems personally, but you've heard it, like, boy, I don't know what to do, and this is kind of wearing on me. Boy, to be able to offer a solution is going to be really, really a big differentiator, I think, for agents and advisors. And then when we get into some of the living benefits, some of the income opportunity with this product, we think we've got a grand slam opportunity here that really does fill a lot of needs with one product, and we're excited about it. And Jim mentioned we're getting some traction. We spent a lot of time and effort, really kind of pre-gaming this product and preparing everybody for it, and that's paid off. We've seen incredible results, early on, so we're proud of that. So let's jump into some of the specifics of the product, okay? So it's a 10-year surrender period product, the minimum $10,000 entry point from a premium perspective, maximum $1 million face per client, single premium, as I had mentioned. The issue age is from 45 to 80. Really cool, 12% premium bonus to get those account values cranking early on. It's got a return of premium feature. I'll talk a little bit about that later. I've got my own philosophy on how to leverage that, utilize that, what that means. The accelerated death benefit riders, incredibly powerful. It's not long-term care, but it solves some of the same problems. In today's market, you're talking to people about two things. If you're talking retirement, you're talking about their money, right? Hey, how long is it going to last? Is it going to provide the right lifestyle, and then health insurance related issues, right? And long-term care, more and more, you guys know this is becoming part of that conversation. And then look, you guys hopefully are for-profit organizations, right? So we've got a really healthy 10% commission up to age 75, and then 7% up to age 80, from 76 to 80. This is the part where I always feel like, if you guys ever watch late night TV or see those infomercials and the guys like, and buy in the next 20 seconds and we'll double your order, right? So this is kind of our version of that, right? We've got until the end of the year, which every time I do one of these webinars or talk about this, 12/31 felt like a long ways away a couple months ago, but it's really not now. We've got about 7 weeks or so left in the year, but any application we receive between now and the end of the year gets an extra commission or extra percent commission. Nothing wrong with that, right? I love to see our agent and advisor partners make money, and we've seen some really nice sales in this product, and it's fun to see. So this is a reintroduction of this product. So the chassis of this product was kind of on the left, right? It was a return. We still had the return of premium feature on the original product. It was a single premium indexed whole life chassis. Had the accelerated death benefit rider. It was a no lapse death benefit. What the differences and additions, and I really feel upgrades, quite frankly, are the 12% premium bonus, some new indexing options, and we're getting more and more questions, right, as the market shifts. Hey, what are you guys thinking, from an indexing strategy perspective? I mean, for so long, or I say so long, last couple of years, we've had such strong fixed rates. We've seen a lot of money going to the fixed accounts, but we've got some new options there that are really attractive. Longevity benefit, which is our income function to this. I'll get into that a little more specifically. I think a really nice add, to this product. I mean, again, right? Sales happen when we offer solutions, right? When we're talking about, hey, wealth transfer, living benefits, longevity benefit, which is income. Wow, we're starting to fill a lot of needs for a client with one product. Okay. And then the underwriting process, game changer. You'll see that here in a little bit. Couldn't be easier, couldn't be less intrusive. And anytime we can do that, it makes your life easier and it makes the sale easier because the client is more likely to do business with you if they don't have a lot of hoops to jump through. You guys all know that, right? So I'm excited to kind of show you what that looks like. Hey, how do we determine the coverage, right? I like to show this, and this is just a snapshot of what the coverage factors are. Very simple here, okay? The underwriting on this, and I'll get into a little more in depth into the underwriting, although it's incredibly simple. It's an approved or declined underwriting, right? So if you're approved, okay, there's really only two factors, right? Male or female, tobacco or non-tobacco. That's it. Okay. So you can look here, you look down at, you go age 65. Let's say we got a female non-tobacco 1.8 multiplier. So they give us $100,000, bang. We've got an immediate face amount, guaranteed face amount of $180,000. Okay. It's as simple as that. So you just follow the grid, age, underwrite, male, female, non-tobacco, tobacco, and you know what the multiplier is. Really easy to explain to the client. There's, not a lot to it. I like simple. I like guarantees. The return of premium. So this is a big deal in a lot of ways. I think this is always kind of a warm and fuzzy, right? We like to have this conversation with clients because, hey, if they're giving you a reasonably large sum of money, just human nature is to be a little apprehensive. Hey, what if something happens? What if I need that? What if my situation changes? What are my options to get my money? I'm going to show you 4 or 5 different liquidity options with this product that really, I think, make this sale, just makes the client comfortable with it because they know. And I always use the term, things can go bump in the night, right? Something can change, something can go wrong in my life. And when that happens, what are my options? And boy, if I have a lot of them, I feel much better about your product. I feel much better about signing on the dotted line, right? So our return of premium feature, again, is there. I'm going to show you where, though, I think really quickly, it almost becomes irrelevant because we've got the 12%. Premium bonus. We're currently right now a really nice fixed rate. So year one, you're getting 17%, right? Because we got a 5% fixed rate. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I'll tell you that now. Year one, you're getting 17% yield essentially. It doesn't take long before you're outside of the return of premium even being relevant because surrendering it, the client's better off anyway. So not very often do we surrender or do we have a client utilize the return of premium feature because the product has outperformed that. So that said, still a really nice conversation piece, makes the clients feel safe, and I love that it's in there. Just a couple of things here, and you guys have probably read this as I've been talking. The benefit terminates in the event of a policy loan or the election of the accelerated death benefit rider or longevity benefits. So just to be aware of that, we like to call that out. Let's talk about the accelerated death benefit rider, the living benefits of this policy. These have not changed, but man, in today's environment, these are, enormous. Okay, if you guys are talking to folks and they're having concerns about things like, hey, if I get terminally ill, if I need nursing care, if I get chronically, sick, and have, some serious health issues. What are my options, right? And a lot of times folks try to self-fund those things. And then that's, we know that's just not the most efficient way to do it. But, if you look at the long-term care space, Very hard in the traditional space these days to find carriers that are affordable, that will take new business. So again, I stress not traditional long-term care. We do have a solution for that. That's a different webinar, but it does take care of some of the same issues, right? So our terminal illness benefit is that you take the death benefit as a lump sum with a 95% discount factor if the client is diagnosed as terminally ill. Nursing care and chronic care, there's two ways to get this paid out, okay? You get up to 100% of the death benefit if confined to a nursing facility for at least 90 days. They can get that in monthly payments over 36 months, or a lump sum with an 85% discount factor applied. So really, really nice to have a couple of different options. Everybody's situation is a little different. Chronic care, same kind of format. They can get up to 100% of the death benefit over 60 months, or a 75% discount factor. Again, nice to know that, hey, if I need to lump sum, depending on their situation, that might be more desirable than spreading it out over the long term. And again, because this is based on the death benefit, these benefits are paid tax-free. Okay, longevity benefit. This is kind of where it gets starts to get cool, because it's a little different. It's an upgrade. Look, you guys are having conversations with your clients about, if you're just having just general, retirement conversations, income comes up, right? How can I generate, income? How can I protect my income? You're having those discussions. And I always, talk about this in terms of, hey, if I had a crystal ball and I knew what the financial world was going to look like 15, 20, 25 years, hopefully, into my retirement, if I'm lucky, well, that'd be really, really valuable, So to have things that are protections against the unknown, which I believe this is, I think it's incredibly powerful. Okay, so our longevity benefit gives the insured the opportunity to access their death benefit in the form of income once the policy has met a couple of different conditions. You probably read ahead, again, as I've talked, in force a minimum of 15 years, and the insured has to be at least 85 years or older. Okay, it's not one or the other, right? So if you have a 65-year-old, okay, they have to be at least 85. So technically that minimum would be 20 years, right? So this is a later in the process or later in the contract piece, but was still an awesome talking point, right? Because, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Insured, hey, we get, down the road here later into retirement, and we have this ability to pull some additional income into your retirement strategy. Look, we don't know what it's going to look like, 15, 20 years down the road, but boy, this is a great option or opportunity to have in case you need it. Okay. One more thing, no withdrawals, loans, or use of the living benefits can have been used. If that happens, this benefit does go away. And this is paid out over 60 months, once we activate the longevity benefit. So what's that kind of look like, just from a illustration perspective, right? So at the age of 85, we divide that by 60, it'd give them $4,600 and change a month. This is taxable, so just keep that in mind. But nonetheless, right, to get an extra, $4,600 and $47 a month gross of income late into retirement, could make the difference in lifestyle, right, for a client. So, we really, really are excited about this as a selling point. Indexing options, all of our strategies are available. I had mentioned we've got a 5% fixed rate on this product. We've, that again, you compare that with, or combine that with a 12% premium bonus. So that first year looks really, really good. We've got our point-to-point strategy. A couple of new strategies we've added are our performance trigger. That's one that's been out there, the S&P 500, but we've added that here in the last several months, and that's been incredibly popular, right? The market has $1 a gain, we get 8%, right? So it's that, a little more of that upside, participation, still a downside protection. And then our S&P 500 dynamic intraday, that's becoming more and more popular. It's a 15% volatility strategy that tracks really well with the S&P. I think as the interest rate environment continues to change, and as we've already seen this is because it's performing really well, and we are seeing more and more folks, get into that strategy. So there's, this is important, right? Because it keeps your product real-time relevant, right? Because we know over the long term, we're going to have change, and we need to be able to adapt to that and have the tools to do it. And we think we've got, enough strategies here to help you help your clients. I'd mentioned the liquidity options. There's several here. Okay, we got free withdrawals after the first policy year. They can take up to 5% of the value without a surrender charge. Okay, so that's liquidity option number one. They can take a loan against this contract. You see the loan rates on the right there. The declared rate 4.75, crediting 2%. The net rate of 2.75. Not. I wouldn't sell it because of this, but I'd sure as heck make sure they know all of the flexibility and liquidity options in this contract. We've got the accelerated death benefit rider, which I had talked about. Why do we put that under the longevity, or I'm sorry, under the liquidity space? Well, because if they don't have this in place, likely, and they don't have other planning done, they're paying cash, some form of cash for this. For these services, so we feel like this is liquidity like, okay, with the accelerated death benefit rider, the longevity benefit I talked about, granted longer term play, more down the road into the contract, but nonetheless a liquidity play, and then the return to premium option, which I had talked about. Fees, pretty straightforward here, guys. We've got the expense charges are deducted from the policy values on a monthly basis per $1,000 based on issue age, gender, underrated class for the first 15 years. There's a $10 a month policy fee, and then the cost of insurance is deducted monthly. And I didn't mention this, but I always put this bullets here. I always like to call this out. There is a one-time fee of $250 at time of claim for the living benefit piece, the accelerated death benefit rider. So, I'd like to call that out. That more than anything, because if you don't, then someone does the math and it doesn't work out perfectly. It's because they didn't factor in the $250. State approvals. This was an easy one for us. We had this product, the chassis was already built. So, we just made some updates and we're able to get this approved and up and running pretty quickly. The light blue states, that's where we have our state variations. That state variation, the state variations are typically with the longevity rider or in the accelerated death benefit rider. The only state we do not do business here is New York. Not a surprise there, but we're ready to rock and roll in every state but New York. Okay, underwriting. I'd mentioned this being a game changer. Hey, simple is good, right? Simple is good for you because it means we can get through the process. We can get the client to sign on the dotted line, get our sale, get paid, and move on to the next, right? And not that we want to be transactional, but hey, the more efficient you are, the more sales you can make, and it's also good for the client. This is an incredibly non-intrusive process. This is a 100% digital process. There's no more phone interview. The old version of this, our underwriting process included a phone interview. You wouldn't think that'd be a big deal, but everyone on this phone or everyone on this call knows that anytime you ask a client to do something, it causes potential to lose a case, right? And it causes, at a minimum, delays in the process, okay? So we've removed that. There are no medical exams, labs, medical records, just third-party medical data and prescription history. We get an immediate decision 100% of the time. When I say immediate, it's I say 30 seconds. We've had folks say, hey, I got mine back. I got this thing back in 10 seconds, right? You get a decision right away, know whether or not to move forward. The process is pretty basic. You got to complete the field underwriting, review the pre-qual questions, so it's, hey, in the last 10 years, have you had X, Y, or Z? Tell us about that. Or there are some knockouts, things like, do you have AIDS or HIV? Things that the big ticket items, that you guys are if you're in the life insurance space, you're very, very aware of. Once we get through that, it's 100% e-app. We get all of the regular, identification of health information, obtain a client signature, get the instant underwriting decision, complete, sign. And once we fund it, we've got a new contract in place. It could not be more seamless and slick than that. I love the product itself, but man, when you can combine that with the ability to write business efficiently, without being a headache to you guys, without making it hard for the client, I think you really, really create an environment where you can make some sales. Product positioning, I've touched on a lot of this. So you'll see as we get later in the slides, I work ahead a little bit on some of this stuff, but wealth transfer, somebody can, turn 100 grand into 180. I'm going to show you an illustration of what that looks like and some really, really cool tools here in a second. The power of the guarantees and the impact they have on the living benefits is incredible. And then the simplified underwriting or simple underwriting, which I just obviously championed here pretty loudly a second ago. Where are we finding the money, right? Cash equivalents, okay, dusty money. Clients that have CD folks that have money sitting in a money market, checking, savings, they have that money sitting over there. They in their mind, it's like maybe a what if fund. I want to leave that to the grandkids, but I'm going to leave it out there for now. You got underperforming life policies, life insurance policies. They're still requiring premium that they may not need the life insurance, depending on the contract anymore. And then non-qualified annuities where the client does not need the money for retirement. We're seeing quite a few opportunities there. So, we want to find those dollars, and they're out there. What does it look like kind of hypothetically in the real world, right? These parameters will sound familiar because this is kind of how I talk through it when I get into the grid and the multiplier. But we've got Carol here, non-tobacco, 65-year-old. She's got $100,000 in the CD, getting 4%. Not an uncommon strategy for some of your clients. She's got one main objective. She wants to leave some money to the grandkids. That's great, but she also has in the back of her mind the potential health-related expenses during her lifetime. What if, right? This is that things go bump in the night. Something happens to me that could impact my retirement. What protections do I have? Okay, because then her objective, her priorities would probably switch from, hey, I want to leave money to the grandkids, to, boy, Carol needs some health care, and how do we pay for that without wrecking my retirement, right? So very, very common. So what does it look like? How can we help Carol, right? So that 100,000 she has in a CD, getting 4%. She puts this in the WealthMax bonus life contract. Immediately, she has $180,000 of guaranteed death benefit. Wow. Okay. Really cool. Guaranteed for health-related expenses. I went through this earlier. So her 95% lump sum factor for terminal illness is just shy of $171,000. Nursing care confinement, right around 5,000 for 3 years, or 152 and change lump sum. Chronic care, 3,000 a month for 5 years, or she can take a lump sum of just about $135,000. And you look out there to the right, we've got that return of premium, right, to make her feel like, hey, if I need something really serious happens, I need my money, I can go get it. Well, here's where it gets pretty cool, right? And I think you could look at any point between immediately upon issue and at the 10-year point, the 15-year point, but we're using life expectancy illustration. So what's this look like at our life expectancy? Okay. Death benefit of just north of $325,000. Okay. Living benefits, you can see it, $310,000, $9,000 and change a month for nursing care, and $5,400, a month in chronic care. Very, very powerful numbers. We know if you're in the long-term care space, or just in our space in general, that folks, start to need these services, more frequently when they crest that 70, 72, 73, age threshold, right? So to have this sitting there is something that, what a great peace of mind to have, to know, hey, I can live my retirement, and if something unfortunate does happen, I'm going to get the care that I need because I can afford it, because I put this policy in place. And now we're not talking return of premium. We're talking cash surrender of just shy of $290,000. This is just a visual of what that looks like. I think it's kind of cool to say, hey, you gave us this, and all three of these stacks are higher, right, of potential money that you would need and utilize for your personal care. This is eligible for all of our programs, gang. It's really cool that this came out near the end of the year. We've seen some folks really take advantage of this and drive their production. Whether it was for our tiered compensation program, our 2025 producer incentive trip qualification ended on October 31st, but we had this in place for about 6 weeks prior to that, so that was pretty cool. And then it is eligible for internal exchanges. I've touched on a lot of these. I'm not going to read through these again. You guys have heard me talk about it. We really look at this product like a Swiss Army knife. I'm a baseball guy, so I talk in terms of 5-tool players, right? They can hit for power, average. They got a good arm. They can play defense. They can run. They got to do it all, right? I feel like this contract is really similar to that. So again, really excited about it. You guys have heard me beat up all of the bullets on this screen. Same thing here, right? I again can't stress the simplicity of the underwriting being a huge win for all of us. And then how do we learn about this? Well, you can sit here and listen to me on a webinar, right? Or, and then, supplement that by utilizing what I believe to be a world-class microsite. We've got two of these. We've got one for our long-term care hybrid bridge that was our first microsite. It's incredibly well done. It's how I learned that product, and everything you need to learn about and write this product is housed on our microsite. You go onto the agent portal all the way over to the right, you'll see microsites. Click it. There's only two options. WealthMax bonus is there. Go on there and you can access the illustration application system, start the underwriting process, and view all the pre-approved marketing materials, videos, you name it. It's there, housed in one really slick package. So I encourage you to go out there and check that out. So Jim, that's that, my friend. Have we got any questions, and is there anything I missed or you think that we need to circle back and talk about?
Well, no, perfect. So yeah, Leon, there are a couple questions. I'm gonna just say, hey, folks, obviously, a lot of information in roughly 30 minutes because we wanted to be respectful of your time. With that said, we're here for you. So there's already a question or two in the question box, but I'm gonna just kind of hit a few things and then go through questions. So first of all, I think really the second slide was about the transfer of wealth. Let me put it in perspective. We are in the middle of the largest intergenerational transfer of wealth in human history, folks. So if you're somebody who's not sold single premium life and you're wondering if there's real opportunity in the market, the answer is yes. Is it easy to find? Not necessarily, but is there real potential for you to increase revenue for your business, even utilizing the clients you already work with? My answer would be yes. If you have more questions about that, let's talk after the webinar on a one-on-one. I can't stress how easy the underwriting is on this product. My fear was, just to be very transparent, when Leon called me and said, hey, we're relaunching WealthMax bonus, was, oh my goodness, here's going to be another single premium life product or life product in general that our clients are either going to have to do pyramids and ABSs or even have to do telephone interviews. And as he told you, they made this process so simple, folks. I can't stress it enough. It's easy. You put some information in their e-app and it's going to tell you yes or no. I mean, I don't know how much easier it'll be in the future. I can't, think of anything else they could have done. He talked about a 10-year surrender, but he also let you know there's return of premium on this product. So, for those of you that might sell in the annuity space, that kind of sounds counterintuitive maybe, but it does have return of premium. So don't let the 10-year surrender in general scare you or your client because of that return of premium, rider. And then, the longevity benefits, the accelerated benefits, all those are great benefits. Make sure that you learn those and you have those internalized. That way, when you're talking to clients, this product is much more than life insurance. It's much more than wealth transfer. It is a true Swiss Army knife is the term that EquiTrust and Leon use, so I'll go with it, right? If they get sick, it's got this. If they need to go in a nursing home, it's got that. If they're 85 or older and have had the policy for at least 15 years and have never taken any loans, withdrawals, or used any of those accelerated benefits, it's even got a longevity benefit that it can pay out over 5 years. So it's much more than, your grandfather's life insurance. So make sure you learn that. So, I truly believe it's if not the best product out there, definitely for most clients, one of the best products out there. So if you aren't actively looking at it and you're in that market or thinking of being in that market, it's a fantastic product and company to work with. So If you need more, call us. I'll give you our number. So Leon, we did have a couple questions. Question one was pretty simple. It just asks about growth in the first couple years. Any thought on that? It says there.
What was growth? I'm not sure I understand it. So asking about growth in the
Oh, you
first
know
couple
what?
of years?
Actually, you know what? I missed. So, Robert, let's you and I sit and talk about this, because this is an annuity question. So I'll reach out to you one-on-one. I apologize, Leon.
No, no worries.
It didn't show the whole question. The other question that came through is on the longevity benefit, right? The client can qualify for the longevity benefit, and what happens? Let's say the client's over 85, had the policy more than 15 years, has never taken anything out through any of the options that are available. So we start that 5-year clock, right, where it's 60 months equally paid. What happens if the consumer dies 10 months in?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it gone, or?
No, it's dollar for dollar spend down of the account value, and then the beneficiaries would get the difference.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So does that make sense to everybody? So basically all they do is look at what was paid out in the longevity benefit, subtract it from what the death benefit was, and pays the remainder to the beneficiaries. So
That's right.
very fair. There are some products out there in some realms where once you start something, other things go away. So it's good to know that.
Yeah, you
Can
get a
you?
life only payout on a SPIA or something like that, right? And
Yeah,
it
exactly.
only goes away, right? Yeah, it's you're kind of banking on outliving the what's in there.
Yeah, and then can you explain? And I've worked with you and I've been marketing this product, but we talked about the premium bonus. Can you take like 20-30 seconds, elevator pitch it, like how that works and how it benefits the client?
Yeah, right. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we still want the asset to grow. So the account value, right, is going to be something that the client's going to see that statement every year. So we think that adding that 12% gets that account value, up. And I think depending on where the markets have been too, and we see this with our bonus products on the annuity side, and I don't know. You have to have the right time. I guess you can shift your strategy on how you talk about this based on the markets, is what I'm saying. So anytime I can say, hey, in your year one, you can get 17% first year yield into your account value. And obviously that gets those account values up and running quickly, which then is an absolute, it's kind of like putting that product on steroids early on. Because obviously all the values are based on the account value. So to be able to tell somebody you're going to get a double-digit premium bonus, on a product that I think that previously didn't have any premium bonus is an incredibly powerful value prop, in my opinion.
Right. Yep. No, I completely agree. And then one thing, one of the questions is about one of our agents has a client that's had an annuity and asking about an internal transfer. And I believe you did say you do take internal transfers. What about if it's a 3-year-old 10-year annuity?
No, it's got to be.
That's
obviously.
It
has to be out of surrender.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah. So there's the answer to that question. If you've got a client that has an EquiTrust annuity, it has to be out of surrender to do the internal transfer. That's pretty common. Just so everybody on the phone knows.
I know that there are some carriers out there that are getting a little more aggressive in that space, and I think there's probably some room for every carrier to look at that. Like, hey, let's look at where does the math work, as opposed to a hard no. Kind of like suitability, right? Are we putting the client in a better position than they are today? I guess the big question then comes in, hey, we've got this actuarially built around this surrender period. We've paid commission, so is there some kind of, decreased commission that we pay? I don't know. That's for folks at a higher pay grade than I am, but yeah, it has to be out of surrender currently with us in order to utilize the internal exchange.
Yep, totally understand. So no, I really appreciate that. And it looks like that's the end of the questions. So I'm just going to wrap this up. First of all, everybody on the call, thank you very much for attending. Leon, Andrew, obviously, thank you for your friendship and partnership, and everybody at EquiTrust who supports us and our agents and their clients. Folks, if you have questions about EquiTrust, WealthMax Bonus, or any of their great products, give us a call. You can speak to me. Again, my name is Jim Codney. I'm National Sales Director, or you can speak to either of our other life and annuity marketers on the team, Amanda or Tyler Marr. They'd be happy to help you out. Our number to our office is 800-852-7152. Again, 800-852-7152. And with that, folks, again, thank you very much and make it a great day. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.